before we start, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe underneath this video. We're about to start, so grab a drink as well as something to eat, and let's go. Alright, hello everyone, it's Happy, and today we're going to be touching on an interesting issue on rigging, or if Wargaming or the matchmaker that Wargaming has designed rigs games on purpose. So basically, I split this video into three issues I'm going to be talking about. So number one, it is obviously the player base and people you're matched up against. So first, let's say there are two pools, the winners pool and losers pool. Let's say I'm a 64% player, so that means I win 2 out of 3 of my games. So let's say I'm on a winning streak. Let's say I win 4 games in a row. Let's assume that. So I won 4 games in a row. And the matchmaker now will try and throw me to a weak team of 40% players. So usually if you look at the end of the game, one team has more 40% players than the other. It's mostly a green versus white team. So white, I mean 40%ers. So the more I win, the higher the chance that the matchmaker will throw me with a team of 40%ers just to make me lose. It's as if the matchmaker knows beforehand what the outcome of the game will be, or what it's more likely to be. So it stacks up a stronger team against a weaker team. And on the stronger team, they usually add players who have had a recent loss streak. At the same time, a loss streak. At the same time, let's say I'm losing a lot of games. Let's say I lost 3 games in a row. The matchmaker will try and throw me or give me a team with good players in order for me to win. Again, I think this is designed to keep players in the game. Why? Because imagine you keep losing, you lose like 10 games in a row and you're like, oh, screw this, I'm gonna quit Blitz. So I think the matchmaker works in a way in order to keep the player base happy, at least give them, a bit of that taste of a win, if you know what I mean. So that's that. So basically how it works is the more you win, the higher the chance you're gonna have a team that's trash, so 40% players, and the more you lose, the higher the chance that the matchmaker is gonna give you a team with good players in order for you to win a bit. So it's a bit of a balance. And why do you think they throw you with a team that's more likely to lose? Well, I don't know. I think they just want to mess up your stats a bit, and if you're a stat player, you're like, oh my goodness, and then you go off to grind again, you play a bit more than usual just to fix those stats a bit. Again, this is just speculation, but this is what I have observed at least. So yeah, that's how, in my opinion, the matchmaker works on team balancing. And there's also an issue of maps. So if you've played Blitz, sometimes the worst maps you do keep reoccurring. I don't know what this has to do with. The more you win, the more likely Wargaming is going to give you a map you're trash at. So for example, if you're a heavy tank, it's going to give you, and let's say you're a heavy tank and you're having a session with heavy tanks, and the more you win, the more likely Wargaming is going to give you a map that heavy tanks suck in. So Dead Rail, I believe. And when I was playing really heavy tanks once, Wargaming kept giving me that map because I was winning, and they tried to make me lose, I guess. But again, this is just speculation. Maybe I'm going nuts, but this is the way I see it, and a lot of people have complained about this as well. Similarly, if you're losing, they try and give you a map that you're good at, or what your vehicle type is good at. And again, some players feel that the game is rigged, and therefore they try and change the type of tank they're playing. So they change the tier, they change the tank type in order to stop the rigging. And again, some people say it works. Maybe it's just a myth. We will never know, because Wargaming will never release official data on this topic. So what we've discussed now is basically how the matchmaker decides what team you're going to be in and how it decides the maps. Maybe it's auto-generated, maybe it actually really is random, but we will never know. So the third issue again is, high rolling, low rolling, and penetration values. Blitz is better than World of Tanks, the PC version, because we actually only have a 15% chance difference. So you only have a 15% plus / minus alpha raise or decrease. Same with the penetration values. This is better than the 25% in World of Tanks PC, which makes World of Tanks PC a lot more, let's say, random. And I really think that this RNG thing in the game really is random, because there is no way that Wargaming can control this whatsoever. But the fact of the matter is that, let's say you high roll, your next shot will definitely be a low roll or something average, because that makes sense mathematically. Obviously, if you high roll a lot, the chance is that you're going to have a low roll. Same with low rolling. If you low roll once, the next shot is going to be average or above average, and that makes perfect sense because you know, it's RNG, it's fully random, and your penetration and alpha fully depend on that. But the game overall is very, very random. That's why I say it's a more individualistic game rather than a team game. You're playing for yourself and to increase your stats, and that's the whole point of the game. Rather than team-based, blah, blah, blah. I don't care what anyone says. This is just my opinion. So that's that. So these were the top 3 issues, but the 4th one is also, you know, spotting people. I haven't witnessed this personally, but some people say that they get spotted before the enemy, even though they're in the same range, and sometimes you're behind cover as well. Not cover, but I mean you're behind a bush. Of course, bushes have different camo values for them, but again, I've never witnessed this. This is what some people have told me, so I just wanted to ask you guys if you have the same. But these are just the topics I wanted to raise. Maybe have some you know, debates in the comment section. So tell me what you guys think about this issue in the comment section below. And with that, Happy is out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.